Hello out there, welcome to the newspaper review here on TAP TV. This is where we get to discuss with members of the streets as regards headlines making rounds on the papers. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and you out there can also be a part of this show. Please subscribe to our channel. If you are yet to subscribe, turn on your notification button, connect with us across all our social media platforms. If you are yet to do all of this so that I won't drop notifications like this, you get to receive it. Alright, before we discuss with people on the street, let's first look into the newspapers and see what the stories look like. And today being Tuesday, 9th April 2024, we could see at the Punch newspaper, the first headline here reads, NNPCL faces $3 billion backlog on petrol payment, says report. The state of this story is found on page 20. Federal government may get $1 billion Afrimex bank loan in May. Details is found on page 19. EFCC probes 50 accounts linked to humanitarian ministry. Details of the story is found on page 12. You can see it says government abducts Rivers ex-governorship candidate, kills 2 loyalists. I take that again. It says government abducts Rivers ex-governorship candidate, kills 2 loyalists. Details is found on page 9. And at the main story here, we could see it says banks get 3 months deadline to stop forex-backed loans. Sub-story under that reads, banks, customers begin negotiation to liquidate loans, unfreeze domiciliary account balances. Detail of this story is found on page 2. Obaseki swears in new deputy as assembly sacks Shaibu. Details is found on page 10. Sultan declares Wednesday tension in Anambra Varsity over students' disappearance. Details is found on page 5. Emefiele returns to EFCC custody, faces 4th arraignment, April 25th. Details is found on page 25. And that's all we'll be taking on the Punch newspaper. And moving on, we'll be looking at the Standard Times newspaper. This might look like the first time we'll be looking into this newspaper. The headlines here are interesting. We could see it says, CBN disallows foreign currency as collateral for Naira loan. Details is found on page 15. First Bank to seek shareholders' approval for 3 billion Naira capital raise. Details is found on page 15. And at the main story here, we could see it says, Edo Deputy Governor Shaibu impeached. Details of this story is found on page 7 of the Standard Times newspaper. Engage in credible opposition, we won't haunt you, Fubara tells IPAC. Details is found on page 13. Ondo Guba, come clean over certificate controversy. Group tells Ayedatiwa. Details is found on page 10. Governor Abiodun appoints Kehinde Onasonya as new head of service. Details is found on page 2. Ramadan, Sultan of Sokoto formally declares Wednesday Salah. Details of the story is found on page 3. Better Edu, EFCC recovers 300 billion Naira, investigates 50 bank accounts. Details is found on page 3. Court finds Halima Abubakar 10 million Naira for defaming Apostle Suleiman. Details is found on page 3. And that's all we'll be taking on the Standard Times newspaper. And lastly for today, we'll be looking at the Nation's newspaper. We could see as headline says, twist in Labour Party, PDP crisis. Details is found on page 6. Ex-TCN boss accuses agency of mismanaging $500 million, a very huge sum of amount. Details of this story is found on page 7. Abia government sacks monarch over alleged misconduct. My government won't hound opposition, says Fubara. Details of these stories are found on page 27 of the Nation's newspaper. Federal government deploys app to monitor ministers' performance. Sub-story under that reads, lawmakers constituency project for monitoring. Details is found on page 5. Holidays remain today, tomorrow. But as pressmen, we don't go on holiday. We are here to get out the news and pass it to you out there. All right, enjoy the holidays. Details of this story is found on page 6. And at the main story here, we can see it says, CBN steps off measures to strengthen Naira against dollar. Using dollar as security for Naira loan bans. Details is found on page 5. Omobayo replaces Shaibu as Edo Deputy Governor. Sub-story under that reads, X number 2, I'll fight this illegality. Details is found on page 5. And lastly, you can see it says, alleged $4.8 billion, 2.8 billion Naira fraud. Emefiele pleads not guilty. Interesting. Details of this story is found on page 4 of the Nation's newspaper. And that's all we'll be taking now. Let's get to see the reactions of the members of this. Let's get to hear what they have to say as regard these headlines making rounds on the papers. Stay tuned. All right, good day.
Good day.
Welcome. I'd like your thoughts on the Nation's ban. Happy Salah. Today is a holiday, but we pressmen will not go on holiday. We'll always be out here to drop information. You know how we do it. All right, welcome. I would like your thoughts on the Nation's Newspaper that says alleged $4.8 billion, 2.8 billion naira fraud. Emefiele pleads not guilty. And this Emefiele's case has been in court for a very long time now.
Okay.
So what do you have to say about that?
Emefiele, to my own opinion, Emefiele will still go free. That's just,
Why do you say so?
Na Nigeria we dey now. You understand? So no matter how they turn the case, back and front. But Nigeria they like truth. You understand? So no matter, and this is politics.
Exactly.
So he has Emefiele was the former CBM governor in Nigeria, and definitely he has the top politicians that is working with. So you just show you at the end of the day, they swept under the carpet.
But is it possible for this huge sum of amount of money to be recovered?
To be recovered.
Exactly. Because that one is more important than him being punished.
The one Abacha looted, are we not still recovering it?
Even while we are recovering it, we are not even seeing what they are using it for.
So no matter how you recover, it's not even possible. Even though they will recover, I'm not sure they will recover up to 50%.
And this one is even pleading not guilty. And we know what to face during the election period. Or maybe it did not affect you.
Don't be like that with it. The only people that is not affecting now is politicians. That's what I have to say. You understand? This is the only people that this economy is not affecting is politicians. So me and you, directly or indirectly, is touching us. So
all right, one last question. Looking how the lawmakers, the judges are going about this Emefiele's case, how EFCC is arraigning him, do you think they are going through the right procedures so as to send warning to next persons so they will not try such acts?
For ejaculation.
Because left for me, I would say the first day, second day they arraigned him in court, they should have declared the judgment without even hesitation because there are so many evidences.
What happened during the election?
Family medicine.
That is the question mark. What happened during the election? Everything was there. Why didn't they give the judgment? They were adjoining. Sorry to say, what about Nnamdi Kanu case too? They know the truth, they know everything. Adjoining. So, what is Emefiele case about? The corruption has gone down like it's been very, very difficult.
So you know that every judgment in Nigeria has an effect, a future effect on people. So do you think that it would influence more people to commit such corruptive acts?
It will not, though. It will not.
All skin diseases.
They say money answers all things. So if you have at the future you have the money, definitely you can corrupt the judges. That's just it. So there's nothing. Sorry to say, except there is a war in this country. They will start rebuilding. You understand? Starting afresh.
Yeah, somebody was saying it's more like we are recycling these persons that we've used before.
You are just recycling. So what do you are just there going up and down. Meanwhile, they know what to do. They know the right thing to do. So when we have there's a saying that say that when the righteous rule, the people rejoice, something like that. So when we have the right candidate, we have the right person that's supposed to be there, and you refuse him or you deprive him of that such position, they'll continue to suffer. The only thing that we will continue to talk, funny enough, this our talk does not go anywhere. As far as I'm concerned, you understand? Because we talk on the social media, we talk on we talk on all the social media platforms. It only goes around us. Meanwhile, these people continue doing what they are doing. They don't send me and you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, good day.
Good day, man.
Welcome. And today is holiday. Happy holidays. Salah.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know, as newsmen and businessmen, we will not go on break now. We come out to fend for our family, to look for our daily bread. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, I would like your thoughts on the Nation's Newspaper that says alleged $4.8 billion, 2.8 billion naira fraud. Emefiele pleads not guilty. We know Emefiele has been arraigned for several allegations of embezzlement of funds.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that?
Say Emefiele have what they call criminal mindset.
Okay.
And how can somebody have that kind of attitude? He be saying such a thing and denying it. It's not supposed to be bad. This is Nigeria. And as a Nigeria, the government is supposed to take the proper action against him. Because if they leave it that way, they're going to be another person going to continue to do worse than what he's doing. So I would like a Nigeria government to deal with him so that what he has stolen in Nigeria will be returning back to Nigeria.
Okay, now we could see that the amount is a very huge amount, $4.8 billion and 2.8 billion naira. Do you think the money can be recovered? Do you think we can recover the money?
Yes, as far as he's alive, it can be recovered.
But he's saying that he's not guilty of this allegation.
How can you say it's not guilty unless they use force on him? Because if you do use force on him, they can see a criminal go and see tell you that I didn't stay. So that is all his own matter. So only thing they need to do is that to follow him up and make sure they recover this money for Nigeria to make use of it.
All right, let's reflect back a little bit. Do you remember what happened during the election period that money was scarce because he said he wanted to start this new currency thing? Did you suffer it also?
Yes, I suffered.
Express your challenges.
Yes, I suffered it because I understand the system of politics and also election was coming, understand, and they used it to play politics. And the only thing I advise to our government is that they should not put power to people who don't deserve power. They will not give power to those
They are not capable.
They are not capable to handle. I understand why Nigeria. Understand when you give people that understand Nigeria, they will understand what they call law and rule and regulation to guide the people and other people as in Nigeria. Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, good day.
Good day, sir.
Welcome. Happy Salah.
I wish the same.
We are supposed to be observing the holiday, but we are here making ends meet. Welcome. I'd like your thoughts on the nation's newspaper that says alleged $4.8 billion and 2.8 billion naira fraud. Emefiele pleads not guilty. What do you have to say about that? We know what we passed through in Emefiele's hand.
Baba, sincerely, if you ask me if I should start saying things now, maybe I might really say things that might actually hurt people or might actually not look nice to people. You understand me? But sincerely, that what we suffered, it was very unbearable for men. To the extent that people had to pull off their clothes inside the bank. Oh my God! It was very mad. It was mad. So there is no way he could actually prove this, that he wasn't guilty. There is no way.
That's so a lot of Nigerians. And to crown it all, that till this time we are not using all the new currency. We are still using that same old currency.
They told us that the old currencies will not be used, and that was exactly what made the scarcity of currency that period of time.
And POS we were charging.
Boss, I was withdrawing 50,000 for like 20,000. Like how?
So before you get 50,000, you spend a total of 70,000.
Yes, your own money. Yes, you buying your own money. So there is no way you can actually prove this to me that you're not guilty. You understand?
Now let's see the amounts are very huge. You think it can be recovered?
You understand Nigeria, you know how Nigeria works. It can be recovered. That is if due process is followed. It can be recovered. But you and I know Nigeria we are into. You understand? Like now, you can't actually assure me of anything and I will actually believe it. You understand? Because the rate of corruption in Nigeria is something else. It's something else, that's just it.
Okay, we could see that Emefiele was an ex-CBN governor. So he held a very high position. And there are persons he was working with. Now, if he's now concluded that he's guilty and we find out that he's linked to a top politician, do you think they will still punish him or they will look for ways to release him? We are in Nigeria, so let's think like Nigeria.
Fine. We are in Nigeria, and if this is linked to a top politician, definitely you will hear the matter again. That's just the truth. See, if you can remember back then, what is his name? Obasanjo just said something. If I'm not mistaken, that was Obasanjo. He said, if there is any crime scene that lasts more than 1 week and government is involved, then you should know that the government stand is involved. You understand? If there's any crime that you cannot handle, that government cannot handle within 1 week, know that the hand of government is in it. So definitely, that's to say that if government should be involved or any top politician should be involved, then that means forget about it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.